Football Queensland's coverage of the 2019 NPL, NPLW and FQPL season is brought to you by IFCA, Australia's only national football-specific coaching conference, 25th and 26th of May on the Gold Coast. Get your delegate pass today at ifcca.com.au. Play football. Join the team today. Visit playfootball.com.au to find your nearest club. Football Foundation, making football more accessible for every income, every gender, every ability, every background, every Indigenous Queenslander. Donate today.
Good yourself? Keeping well? You looking good? Looking forward to this one? You're easily pleased then? Reminds me, I've got this speech and all that. You nervous? It'll fly by. Yeah, when you're ready, Lewis. Good afternoon, everyone. We're at AJ Kelly Park. One major decision being made on the national stage this evening, and this game could go a long way to deciding the premiers of the 2019 NPL Queensland. It's Rafe Griffin with you in commentary. We're past the halfway mark of the season now. We saw these two teams in action back in the match of the round, back in round one where Peninsula claimed the victory over Lions FC. Two teams about to walk out onto AJ Kelly, and I'm joined in co-commentary this afternoon. You might be familiar with his work on the pecking order rankings. Cody Shorter, great to have you on board for a Football Queensland match for the first time.
Rafe, super excited. 1v2 on the table. The two best sides in the NPL going head-to-head. What a better way to introduce myself into the commentary.
Can't get too many bigger games than this, can you? I'll go through your thoughts later on, but as the two teams are about to come out onto the pitch, let's take you through the two lineups for this afternoon. Well, for Peninsula, Jake Reesby is the keeper. 2, Lewis Greenwood. 6, Ramon Close. 7, Dean Briggs. 8, Josh Woolley. 9, Britton Fox. 10, Tom Strickland. 11, Richie Hurlin. 12, Alex Warrilow. 15, Sam Roper. 16, Luke Plummer. 17, Jimmy Fairgrieve. 23, Sam Cronin. 20, Trent McAvoy. 4, Daniel Cunha. And the reserve keeper is Jared Pollock. And, of course, Peninsula are coached by Aaron Philp. Two teams now entering out onto the field for Lions. Customary to see Luke Borin in goal for them this afternoon. 2, Andy Thompson. 5, Tommy Jarrett. 6, Nathan Reardon. 8, Mitch Hoare. 10, Joe Duckworth. 12, Sean Carlos. 14, Jason McQuarse. 15, Danny Kim. 16, Josh Brindle South. 17, Marek Madley. And the reserves for Lions this afternoon are Keegan Jelicic, Matthias Simic, Adam Sawyer, Chris Hatfield, and the reserve keeper, Jackson Riley, as the two teams line up. And as always, we want to thank the sponsors for their support of the two clubs this afternoon. For Peninsula Power, their sponsors are Rate International Freight and Furnex Commercial Furniture. And Lions are proudly supported in 2019 by Motorama and Luxury Paints. Match officials out there this afternoon, powered by Total Tools. The referee is Anton Shettinen, assisted by Ben Cook and Martin Haristov. And it's only a week away now. Australia's only national football-specific coaching conference held next weekend on the Gold Coast. Get your delegate pass today at ifca.com.au, ifca.com.au. And Cody, getting back to our discussion previously, first versus second, Peninsula undefeated in a regular season league match coming up to almost 2 years now.
And not just undefeated, Rafe. They haven't drawn a game here all year. 14 wins from 14. It's some run for their first year in the NPL. And it's going to be a test, though, for them tonight. Lions, obviously, right there behind them in the ladder. They're a quality side, as we've seen all season. I think they've lost 2 games this season. One against Peninsula, the other to Gold Coast Knights, another quality side. So really looking forward to this one. I think it's going to be a tight game. But, yeah, absolutely looking forward to getting into it.
You're going to put your neck on the line and come up with a tip?
I'll do it, Rafe. I'm going to say Peninsula by the single goal. I'll say 2-1, a repeat of the first round.
Of course, the Football Foundation Cup was on the line back in round 1. About to get underway. Looks like Peninsula will have first possession. Jake Reesby just asking for a touch on the ball. We've had a light sprinkle of rain come in about a quarter of an hour ago across AJ Kelly. Sent the crowd scrambling, but clear skies off towards the west now that you can see in the background of our shot. And they've crammed the balcony as usual at AJ Kelly. The stand to the left also starting to get towards capacity. And Anton Shettinen making the final checks. Just looking for Jake Reesby down to our right, who's just putting the towel and the water bottles outside the net. Round 16 of the NPL Queensland is underway. It's a top-of-the-table clash from AJ Kelly Park with Peninsula Power at home to Lions FC. And Warrilow held at close quarters by Thompson on this near touchline. As always, you can join in the conversation on the Facebook post. Let us know where you're watching in from. Cody's given us his tip. How about you give us yours on the Football Queensland Facebook post for this game? We'll keep tabs of that as this match continues, as well as any of the other games that are in progress during this one. Brisbane City had a convincing 4-0 win against Redlands last night in the first match from round 16. Nodded on by Thompson. Roper getting involved for Peninsula, and then the opposite number 15 in Kim, and now it's Brindle South down the left-hand side. Makwase was his target, cut out by Cunha. Put forward, and that player on the far side hasn't evaded the offside trap.
I think Rafe will look for that this game. Peninsula to push the ball out wide. They like to get forward out wide, looking to go one-on-one. They rely heavily on those wingers out there. And why wouldn't you? Such quality, and looking forward to seeing that.
And as I said earlier, Matthias Simic not in the starting lineup this evening for Lions. Nathan Reardon looks to have taken his place as Carlos gets the first half opportunity on goal, but right of the upright. So Nathan Reardon, no slouch, and a good replacement there. Plenty of talk will come from the experienced central defender as he is this evening. Utility, can play across a number of positions. As Reesby sends his goal kick booming up towards Fox. Nodded back by Jared, and it's the customary beanie there for Luke Borean. He might have some justification for using that at the moment, Cody. It's starting to get a bit cooler in Brisbane.
Have you ever seen him without it?
Well, not on the playing field at least. Even when he goes training sometimes, it comes out as well. Can't spot the lollipop this evening. As Lions try to battle hard in their forward third. Now as Fox evaded the offside trap, the flag stays down. Fox runs onto the ball, tries to beat Reardon. It's just been steered a little bit wide. Peninsula technical bench looking for some sort of contact. That run of Fox diffused. Pace of Brenton Fox might cause Lions a bit of difficulty this evening.
That was a great little touch there by Reardon, though. I think he just broke that down before Fox could get a shot off.
Makwase getting involved for his side. Loses out to Cunha. That should be a good battle this evening between Jason Makwase and Daniel Cunha. Kim just attempting to shield that ball across the sideline. I spoke of the pecking order rankings, Cody, that you and your brother Jake keep close watch of. We'll come back to a full explanation of that in a moment, but what was the rankings telling us in the lead up to this one?
Well, Peninsula going as slight favourites. They're one spot above out of 300-something clubs we've got. They're 17th on the rankings. Lions are 18th, so it's a very close affair, and a win for Lions would actually take them back above Peninsula.
Probably got a bit of a chance to quickly talk about the pecking order rankings.
Sure.
What does it actually involve?
So basically, we all know the FIFA World Rankings. We've copied that. Not copied, but it's a similar system.
Just break away as Duckworth plays it through for Madley. The cut back slides past Hoare. Brindle South now arriving. Will he take a chance from outside the area? Hoare again involved. Tries to twist and turn around his opponent in Fairgrieve. Oh, and once again, unfortunately for Lions, slides past all those white shirts, but both sides with early attacking opportunities.
Yeah, as I was saying, Rafe, it's basically the FIFA World Rankings, but applied to Australian football clubs. So we've got over 300 clubs, and Peninsula are the highest-ranked Queensland club at the moment, outside, apart from the Brisbane Roar.
Cunha. And you might expect the A-League sides, 10 of them, to occupy all 10 positions, but it doesn't work that way, does it?
Not quite. Not all the time, and not now. Central Coast, actually, if Peninsula win this game, I believe, by 3 goals or more, believe it or not, they will go above the Central Coast Mariners.
I know Peninsula do closely follow the rankings and post a lot of your material on their website.
Very grateful.
We'll come back and talk more about that later on and how people can follow those rankings. Warrellow was staying out of the play initially. Warren Moon, the Lions coach, throws up the hands and goes, why didn't the flag go up? Eventually it does. And it's a relieving free kick to Lions FC after the flag eventually does go up against Alex Warrilow. As Cody touched on before, it's first versus second. Peninsula 14 from 14 already in 2019. As again, it's another close call against Fox. Jared to the ball first, plays on for Borean. Peninsula, second place with 11 wins, 1 draw, 2 losses. Peninsula first in terms of attack, in terms of goals scored, second in defence. Lions, the best defensive unit so far, 8 goals conceded in 14 games and equals second in terms of goals scored in 38 that they've scored for this season. Knocked on by the skipper for McAvoy and now Reardon. Carlos. Thompson. And already a quick pace, Cody. We're 6.5 minutes through. It's gone quickly.
Absolutely. I think that water on the pitch, that little downpour at the start has helped things. That ball's zipping around. No need to water the pitch here.
Jared, the youngster for Brindle South. Cuts the ball in. Once again, Cunha's on hand to rescue the situation. It's certainly end-to-end stuff. We're in for a fast-paced game. End-to-end action, it looks like. Lions will be trying to relive the memories of last time they travelled to AJ Kelly Park when they won the 2017 Brisbane Premier League. 1-0 against Peninsula. In fact, Lions in the last 2 years are the only side to have beaten Peninsula on 2 occasions in that grand final in the FFA Cup last year as well.
Actually, I had a look in the last 10 games between these two clubs. Peninsula have just won the 2 out of the last 10.
Might provide a good omen for the visitors this afternoon.
Yeah, and round 1 was obviously the first, the most recent one, but the one before that was going back to 2015, September 2015.
Here's Madley. Sizes up McAvoy and will earn his side a corner. Looks to be Duckworth that will come across and have the ball. Makwase going to have to retrieve the ball for Duckworth to take it. First potential test here for the Peninsula defence. So Makwase looking to present an option going short instead. Oh, Reesby couldn't grab a hold on it. Kim and puts it over the crossbar. Makwase looking to present the option short, but that just put a little bit of confusion. And Reesby, perhaps with a slippery ball, just couldn't grasp that opportunity.
Yeah, he looks to be talking to the ref there, maybe saying what's going on. Was I impeded? But I'm not sure.
Certainly having a good chat, Jake Reesby to Anton Shettinan. Once again, goes long. The aim was to go out onto the right where there's a free man for Peninsula, but it was easy pickings for Brindle South. Going down was Warrilow. He switched sides. The deck give their feedback on Brindle South's challenge there. Just be called out for a quiet word. Josh Brindle South. Distinctive flame hair.
Wooly screaming for it over here on the left touchline. Big switch potentially.
I think there was a bit of communication between the referee and his linesman as well. Brindle South protests his case, and that's all it'll be, just a quiet word. Anton Shettinan, renowned for trying to keep the cards in his pocket. On by Roper. Madley. Up against his former coach in Ben Ryan, who sits on the Peninsula technical area this evening. Many a day spent at Holland Park Hawks for those two. plenty of success as well in the Brisbane Leagues for the Hawks back in the day. This is Reardon. Long ball in search of Madley. Couldn't find him. And it's Cunha now. Squeezed in between two white shirts. Good win by Madley, Thompson and Hoare. Duckworth was a great idea. Couldn't thread it through for Makwase. Carlos. Once again, Makwase the target. And now Duckworth getting involved. McAvoy, is he going to concede the corner? He is. But that was a great phase of play there for the visitors.
Lions really piling on the pressure now. Peninsula just seemed content to sort of sit back and let them come in these early 10-15 minutes.
Speaking to the Peninsula assistant coach Ben Ryan before the game, he was expecting a bit of a cagey affair between these top-of-the-table opponents. As the ball swung in, nodded towards goal, and it'll be another corner here for Lions. Of course, the reigning premiers and champions in the NPL Queensland. Peninsula looking to wrest that crown from them in 2019. A clump of players congregated near the penalty spot. Once again, Makwase presents himself short. And again into a crowded 6-yard box. And this time, a bit of relieving pressure for Peninsula. 12 minutes gone at AJ Kelly. No score. What have you made of the first 12 minutes or so, Cody?
I think I'm impressed by Lions. They've come out, keeping the ball well, going forward well. A few longer balls, but it's sort of breaking down for them in that final third. And they've had a few half chances. Yeah, I'd definitely say they're the team in front at this point. Not on the scoreline, though, where it really counts.
Here's Woolley. Thompson and Carlos arriving on the scene. Couldn't beat Carlos, could Roper. Carlos again. Duckworth sends it wide out to the right for Madley, but just a fraction too far. Madley thought about having a crack, but Reesby got to the ball first.
Reesby is so quick to get out of that box.
Lions enjoying the support of the Power Chair Football Club from Lions this afternoon. Great to have you on board and watching. Lewis's mum, I assume, watching on from Melbourne, saying, come on the Power. Waiting for her boy potentially to come on as a sub later on. And Luke Raitt and Sylvia Hull also going for Power. So in terms of who's supporting who on Facebook, it's Power that have the ascendancy over Lions at the moment, even though it's even on the scoreboard. Hassle there was Reardon, no free kick. Referee gets the signal from the assistant. The Peninsula bench up in arms. I think it was the right decision in the end, though. Just took a long time to get there, that's all.
Rafe, I'm amazed at how far Peninsula allowed Reardon, the central defender, to carry the ball into the Peninsula half. Really sitting back, inviting Lions to come forward.
I think Anton was in the best place to make a decision there, and as I said before, tends to keep a game open and flowing. Benches are settled down just for the time being. Duckworth's free kick. What can he conjure up this time? Goes towards the back post. And an offside flag will go up against the visitors. As we hit the quarter hour mark. Round 16 of the NPL Queensland coming your way from AJ Kelly Park. Rafe Griffin, if you're hearing the new voice, that's Cody Shorter from the pecking order.
Enjoying the football here, Rafe. Top of the table clash. Stands are looking fairly full at this point.
You were saying you appreciate the 5 p.m. kickoff
nice
on a Saturday afternoon?
Yeah, absolutely.
Did you get out and vote this morning? Get your democracy sausage?
I did it yesterday. Early vote. Avoid the crowds.
Wasn't too bad where I was. About a 10-minute wait this morning, but supported the local school with a sausage and a the cake stalls. We've seen Makwase. Looks to be Duckworth. No, it wasn't Duckworth. It was Hoare, was it? Whoever it is, they've earned the side the free kick. And as I said before, IFCA is just 1 week away now, next weekend. Limited tickets remain. You can visit ifcca.com.au to secure your pass. ifcca.com.au for the IFCA coaching conference down the Gold Coast next weekend.
Lions with plenty of these early opportunities with balls into the box, free kicks, corners.
You'd figure they need to make something of this very shortly. Plenty of feedback coming from Aaron Philp on the Peninsula bench as we see this free kick drifted in, dealt with by the Peninsula defence. Lions will get a second opportunity though as Thompson dinks it over in search of Jared Roper, elects to leave it, and so too does his teammate in the end. Well, we talked about the last time these sides met. Sean Carlos put Lions ahead. It was 0-0 at half-time, and he scored in the 53rd minute. Sam Cronin very quickly got things back underway for Peninsula, back on level terms just 4 minutes later before Sam Cronin, who dealt with a lot of injury last year, sealed the game with a couple of minutes remaining. Peninsula claiming that 2-1 win at Lions Stadium last time round. In a very entertaining affair. Madley tries to evade McAvoy. Cunha, oh, just
silky
very
skills.
Casual. Former Eastern Suburbs boy yourself, were you there in the days of Dan Cunha?
Yes. Good mates with Danny, and nicest bloke off the field, on the field, if you're playing against him. I've seen a few red cards in my day with Danny.
No quarter given, is it?
A few slaps about. Silky skills, though, as you'd expect from the Brazilian.
Here's Kim. Duckworth. Oh, good work by Fairgrieve to recover on the earlier mistake. Danny Kim again. Thompson. Reardon. And Jared. Duckworth. He's got Hoare in close proximity. He couldn't link up with him. And Warrilow comes away with the ball for Peninsula Power. Knocked on by Strickland. Both sides just having a bit of difficulty retaining possession at the moment. Even Makwase, his silky skills, couldn't keep hold of the ball. Bundled over there was the Peninsula player.
Peninsula doing their best in the midfield, trying to string a few passes together, but it seems to be breaking down very quickly for them, and right on the halfway line as well, where Lions can just turn around and start attacking again.
Wins for both these sides last weekend. Peninsula Power, courtesy of Dean Briggs, returning from injury. Scored a brace. Brenton Fox, the other goal for Peninsula Power in a 3-1 win against Moreton Bay as Madley once again in the attack for Lions. Thompson. Madley almost left it a bit too short for his teammate, and it's knocked over the crossbar. Lions players looking for the corner, but their appeals fall on deaf ears from Anton Shettinen. While Lions, they really had to struggle last week against Sunshine Coast Fire, who have really reinvigorated themselves. I think a lot of people wrote off Sunshine Coast Fire in the lead up to this season, but even though they're not at the right end of the table, their performance is much improved on pre-season.
Yeah, the results are looking much better for them.
1-0 Lions over Sunshine Coast Fire last week, with Jason Makwase scoring in the 38th minute. And Josh Brindle-South was looking to do exactly that for his side this time round and open up the scoring, but just a little bit timid.
Yeah, I think many people were expecting a much higher scoring game in that one, but just a single goal. I was surprised. And before that, they had a draw against Redlands Lions, and they lost in the FFA Cup to Strikers. So they're not in the greatest of form for such a quality team. A win here would obviously get their season well and truly back on track. And there's Reardon going right into their box again, into their half again.
Really has been all Lions in the attacking sense, but unable to come up with that first goal 21 minutes in. Kim calling for it is Carlos on his far side, and that's where he comes in the end. Thompson looping around, looking to deliver the cross in. It's low. Junior almost dealt with it. Hoare, and now Kim from outside the area once again. And similar result to previous efforts, blasting it over the crossbar.
Great lead-up play by Lions. It almost seems too easy at times just to get that ball into the box, which is providing their biggest challenge at the moment. But everything leading up to that, they're looking really impressive. And, of course, they'll be very keen to get these 3 points with Knights, Gold Coast Knights and Olympic knocking on their door with the game in hand. They're, I think, 4 and 5 points behind respectively.
Warrilow for Strickland. Poke through, and now Fox arriving. And Borean gets it in the nick of the time. It's probably only his second touch of the match there, Luke Borean.
Fancied Strickland to have a strike there. He opted for the pass.
Fox once again. Threaded through. No blue shirts waiting, however, bit of miscommunication. Strickland just having another chat to the referee on the run. And Borean's going to take his time before he decides to handle the ball. Madley's waiting up front. It was a big touch from McAvoy. He got away with it. Midway through the first half, no score in our NPL Queensland match of the round. And we've got something unique. We've got a midweek round over the next couple of weeks as well. So we'll be back with you on Wednesday night. We'll be at Lions Stadium, where Lions once again will feature, this time at home, as Reardon gives the big don't argue to Warrilow. Lions at home to Gold Coast United on Wednesday night. We'll be with you for that one, as well as a number of games being played.
I think Peninsula have their FFA clash Friday as well.
Yeah, Friday.
Down the Gold Coast.
Friday night, a big clash against Gold Coast Knights. Talk about that one during the course of this broadcast as well. 2 in the wall for Lions. Peninsula player in Fox, I think it is going to provide some nuisance value in the wall. 2 lining up over it for Peninsula. It's left for Warrilow, the free kick specialist. And that was really the first shot on target that Lions have had this evening. Who was it chiming up from defence? It was Luke Plummer. Struggled to find a goal last year, already has 4. The defender this time of the year.
Peninsula, they're sitting a little higher now.
Forward for Madley, who gets in behind the defender, but couldn't beat the offside flag, however. Yeah, just going back to the FFA Cup, Brisbane Strikers, the first team in the South East Queensland zone through to round 7 of the FFA Cup, looking to get back on track. 3 national appearances in a row in 14, 15, 16. Missed out the last 2 years. Here's Warrilow into the near post and scooped up by Borean. Yeah, easily accounted for Eastern Suburbs in the end on Wednesday night. And you talked about that clash between Peninsula Power and Gold Coast Knights next Friday. The winner goes on to play on the Strikers in round 7 for that spot in the round of 32.
Yeah.
Just talking before, Peninsula's scheduled NPL game on next Wednesday now being deferred against Eastern Suburbs. And I believe we might have some news during the week about that Peninsula and Gold Coast Knights match. And if you can't get to the ground, you might be able to still be able to watch it. I'll leave it at that, a bit of a hint. As to
Okay.
what might be happening
Well, I
next
hope so.
Friday night. Always a good atmosphere down at the Croatian Sports Centre. 25 minutes in. Things seem to have calmed down just a little bit at the moment, Cody. A little bit of a lull.
Yeah, I was
in
just
the
about to say
match.
that. Bit of a lull. The crowd's a bit gone quiet as well.
You know there's a lull when the deck aren't piping up.
Peninsula really resorting to that long ball at the moment. They can't really build too much at the midfield. Lions really controlling this game at the moment. Knocking the ball around really well. And, of course, as I say that, they give the ball away.
Commentator's curse. Very disputed at the moment. Will one of these sides be able to come away with clear possession? Carlos looks up and blocked by McAvoy. Carlos must have spotted something. As soon as he got hold of the ball, he looked straight up and decided, I'm going to try and bang it in from 30 yards out, but Peninsula skipper would have nothing of that. Fox. He goes down looking for contact. No real complaint from the Peninsula marksman. Goal kick will be the result for Lions FC. Toby Whitten getting behind Lions. Hayden Esdale on the power. Great to have you watching, Keith, from Auckland. Lions in possession. Brindle South. Duckworth. Thompson. Carlos it was, and now Kim. Carlos testing Reesby and ends up in the back of the net. A touch off Reesby. Sean Carlos from this right-hand side. Reesby tried to get something on it and parried away from the goal, but it ends up in the back of the net, and Lions have taken the lead on the half-hour mark.
Tell you what, he's given the Peninsula bench heaps there, and I mean, he scored a goal, but I think that was a cross.
It was, wasn't it?
But still, it's gone in. It's 1-0.
Doesn't matter how they come in the end, does it? It's one on the score sheet for the visitors. And as you said, Sean Carlos very animated after scoring his 5th goal of the season. Once again, I think it might have just been that tricky ball in the wet conditions that provided Reesby with some difficulty.
Yeah. I think him and everyone else was expecting a cross, and he's been fooled.
So Sean Carlos, 30 minutes in, gives the visitors a 1-0 lead. That was the scenario when these sides met back in round 1 as well. It was Lions who scored the first goal. Clips off Roper, and this time Reesby a little bit more comfortable in dealing with the ricochets. There's a Peninsula player down the back. It's McAvoy. Oh, here's Madley. They're calling for the ball to go out. McAvoy regains his feet. There was a bit of confusion. Ball kept in play, and eventually it's going to be played out, and McAvoy just going to get on his haunches. And referee Anton Shettinen going to check on his welfare. So, Cody, what have you made of the last 3 or so minutes of this match? Lions scoring the goal. What do you think the response will be now from Peninsula?
Well, from Peninsula, I'm sure Lions will be saying, know what happened last time. Remember round 1 where Peninsula came back 2-1, and you can never rule Peninsula out. I mean, I think in the last 5 games they've 2 games where they've scored winners in the last 5 minutes or injury time. So if this game is close going into the last 5-10 minutes, it'll still be on. Peninsula can always score that. They got the players going forward, the quality going forward to score goals, and I know Lions won't. They'll know that.
Well, did you know that IFCA offers discount packages for up to 6 delegate passes? Clubs are encouraged to contact info@ifcca.com.au to secure a spot for their team or coaches. Speaking to Lions General Manager of Football, I think he is, Rob Scanlon, before. They're sending 22 down to IFCA next weekend, so hefty representation from Lions FC at the coaching conference next weekend as Duckworth, confronted by Roper, turned backwards. Kim and Thompson. No way forward at the moment for Lions, so they'll go back to Tommy Jarrod. Makwase, he's got Brindle South to his left. He's going to go more direct. The Colombian, Madley. And that'll be a corner, or will it? No, it looks like a free kick. Upended there was the Peninsula player, and Josh Woolley now in a bit of bother for his side. Anyone else talking to us on Facebook at the moment, Cody?
That's it for now. Just some Go Lions comments. Must have seen that goal go in. And things just seeming a little too easy for Lions at the moment.
Can't really remember the last time, certainly not in the last 10 minutes, that Peninsula have really been able to do anything effective in their attacking half. And once again, we saw that ball dealt with by Lions, and once again,
some frustrated Peninsula players out there at the moment, I think.
Not very used to being in this circumstance
No, exactly,
over the past 2 years. Hasn't happened that often. And they're certainly in with a contest this evening, and that's the thing about the more you win, the closer you are getting to that loss, and I'm sure Peninsula won't want to have that tonight, but to keep on that momentum, it just gets even more difficult week on week.
And that'll be a question too, if they do go on to lose the game, how do they react to that for the rest of the season? But obviously a long way to go in this game yet.
Logan Lightning, the only team to have taken points off Peninsula in the last 2 years. That in the FQPL last year. Should see what's going on around the grounds as well, Cody. I know there's a game in Toowoomba that the Thunder are playing in this evening. Here's Carlos again, however. Once again, tried to fashion something towards goal. And again, it's all Lions. Switcher play by Cunha. Shout of no from the...
Yeah, I think they really just wanted to relax there, hold the ball, build up some play, Peninsula. Give their defence a bit of a break. Much needed break. Lions will just keep coming and coming.
Thunder actually playing at 7 o'clock tonight, so that's the late kickoff. Earliest kickoff this evening in the NPL, apart from this game, at 6:30, so... we won't have too many updates tonight.
Yeah.
And then in the FQPL, 4 games kicking off at 6, and then Roachdale and Capella at 7:15. So all the FQPL games being played on a Saturday night this evening. We'll keep you up to date with those as we go along. But we're 10 minutes away from half-time here at AJ Kelly.
I believe we've got some commentary from the Roachdale game too. My brother Jake will be doing the
co-commentator.
I didn't realise
that.
Yeah, there you
the
go.
Shorter brothers are dominating Queensland football this evening.
Yep. Enjoying it thoroughly. I must admit, I think I got the pick of the games. Top of the table clash here.
Although Roachdale and Capella over recent history.
Yeah, I got some friends playing in that one too, so it would have been good too, but I'm glad to be here.
Capella, another side that's very much well improved in 2019.
Surprising a lot of people with their form at the moment.
McAvoy to the fore. Reardon looks like he's angling towards a long throw into the penalty box. Jared put himself forward. So this almost going to be like a dead ball delivery.
I remember these long throw-ins well when he used to play at Wolves. Hated them.
Now what's the result? Now it's Carlos trying to blast through the pack, deflected off the back of one of his teammates, it looked like. Kim, he's had a couple of chances from outside the box that haven't worked, and he decided that perhaps that wasn't the best option that time round as it's cleared away in defence.
And that's why I hated them, Rafe. They're effective, those long throws. Break down, and they had a shot there, and anything can come of them.
Just been a constant of Brisbane football over the last 5 or 6 years. Medley goes down looking for contact. Lets out a come on ref, but once again, no complaints from the Lions technical area. Warren Moon is firmly ensconced on the chair, looking very, very relaxed. Off to our left. Madley off the left foot, deflects off McAvoy. Ball still in. He cuts back. Hoare, it looked like. Thompson, Makwase. Makwase takes a deflection. Could have been dangerous there for Jake Reesby there for a moment. Could have ended up anywhere.
I'd like to see the stats on the shots Lions have had. It's very impressive. Constant pressure. I can really see a second goal coming here.
See if we can dig up some stats. I'd be very curious about the possession as well. You'd figure towards 70% for Lions.
Must be, yeah. And time in Peninsula's half as well.
So this time it's played short for Hoare, and Duckworth recycles from the corner. Dinked over by Kim. Duckworth. Morello. Cunha. Can they find their way out of their own half, Peninsula? They're having massive difficulties doing that. You can see the press coming in from all the Lions players, and it's enough pressure to win back the ball for the men in orange. Dangerous attacks for Lions, 76-19. And the shots, 13-1 at the moment.
Yeah, wow.
2 of those on target for Lions, of course, resulting in 1 goal to Sean Carlos. Possession, 64-36 Lions way.
You went far off.
It just feels like a lot more than that. Perhaps the ball that Peninsula had early in the half just contributing to that, but for the last 15 minutes or so, it feels like they just haven't had the ball at all.
And Lions 6 or so minutes to get a second one. I think they'll be pushing for it.
Gold Coast Knights and Olympic, despite the Lions pulling away from those two sides, they'll be cheering on this result. Peninsula won tonight. It's almost championship over. Already an 8-point lead.
Yeah, 11 points if they are to win. You'd probably think that's maybe too far.
Difficult to track down, even though there's another 13 games for each of these sides during the course of the season. Of course, a long season this year in the NPL with 30 rounds. Kim. Reardon. Don't think I've called a Peninsula player in quite some time. Makwase for Reardon. Oh, and it just slides past, and what a golden opportunity it would have been 6 minutes before the break for Lions to double their advantage. Great work in the lead-up, though.
Fantastic play there by Lions. Deserved a goal. Reardon will be kicking himself.
Yeah, he just throws the head down, the clap of the hands.
The frustration. They deserve it, though. They really do. They've been the team on top all game.
Always the competitor, Nathan Reardon. Plenty of talk going on out there at the moment. Most of it for Lions, I think. Peninsula look pretty quiet at the moment, as you'd expect. Cunha. Fairgrieve. A goal would bolster Peninsula's confidence. They've had nothing in the last 15 minutes, and that almost looks like a team that is playing without a little bit of confidence at the moment.
Yeah, who's the team who's won 14 from 14? Yeah. They do have that quality, though. One attack, that's all they need. And I think Lions will know that going into the sheds at half-time if it does remain 1-0.
And, of course, Dean Briggs sitting on the sideline. A brace last weekend. Maybe that might be the change that Peninsula inflict at half-time to maybe change the course of this game. Once again, the referee choosing to let a lot go, just becoming a little bit scrappy. Roper. Cunha gets in there in front of Reed and crash tackles his opponent in Duckworth. Kim.
A few pleasantries exchanged.
Madley delivers the cross. Reesby arrives in front of Makwase. Now a little bit of a counter for the home side. Strickland, but there's plenty of white shirts that confront him. Warrilow, and not a decent dig from Alex Warrilow.
He'll be disappointed with that effort.
He would indeed. The unconventional from Boring deciding that he probably hasn't been involved enough tonight, so let's go for a wander outside my area.
Perhaps a little too comfortable.
If you looked up casual in the dictionary, you'd probably find a picture of him. Very casual in his approach, but it's effective. You can't knock it. Of course, 5 years in Italy before coming back to Queensland 4 or 5 years ago. Now Madley. Can they make this pressure build? Lions, there's been plenty of it. Second goal would be handy to go into the sheds with.
A few harsh words from the Peninsula faithful over there going to their players as well. They're expecting more. They're not used to being in this position, completely outplayed at this point.
Interesting to see whether the players get a bit of a rev up as they go to the sheds at half-time. 90 seconds plus stoppages to play. So Duckworth, this one is high, punched away by Reesby. It'll be another corner here for the visitors. No, it won't. It'll be a goal kick. Anton Chittenden certainly thought he was a corner, but overruled by his assistant. Bang of the feet by Reesby as he delivers this goal kick into the attacking half of his side. Flicked on. Cross ball for Warrilow. Fox delivers in, or was there some contact there? Woolley certainly thought so. Once again, the Peninsula technical area stays down, but Josh Woolley vociferously complaining to both assistant and the referee. Boring in no rush to get this ball away in front of the half-time break. About to tick to 45 minutes. You'd think probably just the 1 minute of stoppage time. Ooh, a late knock from Woolley. And the referee's let it go. He's playing advantage, I think, but he might come back and book it. No, he's going to come back. And surely, if you're going to book a player, that's the situation you do it in. Josh Woolley just deciding that Nathan Reardon, bang. And Nathan Reardon, customary, straight back to his feet.
And now it's
Couple
going
of
forward.
deep breaths, and that was about it.
Now he's pushing forward to maybe get on the end of this one.
So Borean will have the free kick inside his half. We know where this is going. Plenty of movement at the edge of the area and plenty of physical stuff as well as Reesby comes high. Good collect from the Peninsula Gloveman. And at the break, it's the visitors who have the ascendancy. Over the home side, it's Lions who lead Peninsula by 1-0, courtesy of a 30th minute goal from Sean Carlos. Well, Cody, what have you made of the first half?
I'm surprised, very surprised that I was going into this thinking Peninsula would be holding the ball a lot more, playing great quality football as they have always done. And what we've seen is a complete domination, to put it lightly, by Lions. And the stats show, the possession show, the shots for Lions show that they've been the better team and they well deserve 1-0 lead. All right, the players heading off to the sheds to take a bit of a break. We're going to take a break as well and be with you here at AJ Kelly for second half action. But at half time, round 16 of the NPL Queensland, it's Lions who lead Peninsula by 1-0.
Why do I play football?
Why do we play football? I play for fitness.
For competition.
Community spirit.
It's healthy and safe. And fun.
I play for celebration.
What's your reason? Join our team.
We swear a lot at Total Tools. We swear by our range. We swear by our service. And of course, we swear by our prices. So you'll know that you're buying at the best price every day. Total Tools. Every tool, every trade.
Yeah the Girls events running across the state from the Gold Coast to as far north as Cairns, and we invite you to come along to give football a go. Whether you've played before or whether it's your first time, we encourage you to come along, have a go, enjoy the experience, and most importantly, have lots of fun. The events are all free of charge. All we require from you is for you to register prior to the event, and that can be done on Football Queensland's website. Yeah the girls. Yeah the girls. Yeah the girls! No. Yeah the girls.
My name's Nathan from Skyfleet Hino. We're based at Eagle Farm in Brisbane. What you're looking at here is our 500 series FG 1628 16-tonne GVM vehicle. The 500 series range comes in 4x2 models all the way from 11-tonne GVM right up to 26-tonne GVM. Variety of different wheelbases. Factory fitted vehicle stability control, suspension and horsepower options. Transmission options in the truck, we have Allison automatic transmissions as well as our own Hino 6-speed and 9-speed manual options.
We've been dealing with Skyfleet Hino for 14 years and using the Hino trucks, and we've found them to be particularly reliable.
And welcome to second half action in our NPL Queensland round 16 match. The round coverage from AJ Kelly Park, the top of the table clash between Lions and Peninsula. Lions visitors are in the ascendancy by 1-0, courtesy of Sean Carlos. And we're about to see a change for Peninsula. Flag this, that looks like Dean Briggs about to come on. What impact do you think that Dean Briggs can have? 2 goals last week, returning from injury. Well, now 45 minutes to date.
We know the type of player he is, and he's got a job to do. And that's score perhaps another 2 goals tonight to repeat the scoreline of round 1. I'm sure is what he and the Peninsula faithful are hoping for. It's a big ask, though, at this point. If you're just tuning in for the second half, the first half was completely dominated by Lions. But we know Peninsula can come back. They've done it this season a couple times, very late as well, so don't write them off just yet.
I think Alex Warrilow is the man that's been asked to make way for the introduction of Dean Briggs in the second half. Can't spot Warrilow out there at first glance. We're about to get underway for the second half. Just going to try and pull up the stats before Anton Shetland gets us underway. 66-34, the possession for Lions. So basically 2/3 of possession Lions' way, and 15 shots to 2 in Lions' favour. Really does highlight their dominance, but only 1 goal on the scoreboard so far. And to be honest, a bit of a fluky one at that.
Yeah, it was, but they deserve the lead. They've had plenty of chances, as you said, plenty of possession against a team who's won 14 from 14 games. Yeah. And here they go again.
So just a reminder, you can hit us up on the comments on the Facebook post if you want to let us know where you're watching in from and how you think this second half might pan out.
And here goes Briggs. First touch. Doesn't amount of much, but they're trying to get the ball to him, I think, at as soon as they can in this half. Give him a chance to run at players.
So did you know that coaches receive 60 continual professional performance points for attending IFCA? Enhance the knowledge of your coaches by booking them a place at IFCA next weekend down at the Gold Coast at the Royal Pines. This is Hoa. Who's giving us a bit of a shout out perhaps on Facebook, Cody?
No one at the moment. We've got Cassie saying go Lions. I believe that was just before the half. I see some friends there watching, but I dare not say their names. They may not like me after that.
Flicked on by Madley Thompson. Delivers the cross in. Waiting at the back post was Sean Carlos, as well as Jason McQuarso to put some pressure on Reesby, and Reesby equal to the task. Switch of play, big switch of play. McAvoy. Duckworth puts the pressure on McQuarso, and then Duckworth zero in towards Reesby.
And you just hear those Lions players saying go, go, go. They're pressing as high as they can, keeping the pressure on. Hoping for a repeat of the first half, really.
Was there a push? No, says the referee. Hoa. Apparently the Lions bench misconstrued my comment at the halftime break, or during when Sean Carlos scored.
Which comment was that?
Thinking it was, I said it was goal of the season. I think I meant 5th goal of the season. I didn't say it was the goal of the year so far. Interesting. You think no one's listening to you, but they are listening downstairs as that one slides across the face of goal. Reesby forced to come deep. Sends it away. Brindle South will just pick up on it inside his own half. And Duckworth didn't pick up on the signals of Brindle South that time round.
Rafe, I'm interested to see what Peninsula are going to do differently this half. I'm guessing try and keep the ball. Not like that, though.
Have you spotted anything early in the first
Not
3
really.
minutes?
I think, like I said, they'll be trying to get the ball to Briggs's feet wide. We all know the type of player he is. Give him a chance to go at players.
He's got a bit of
and
space.
Here we go here.
Yeah, a bit of space on that left-hand side. Here is Briggs, second game back for Power after the injury to him at the start of the season. Spent some time at Grange Thistle in the Brisbane Premier League trying to regain some match fitness. The deck looking for a free kick. Oh, the Lions player's gone down heavily. Madley immediately clutching the referee, who was in close proximity, has immediately stopped play. Madley clutching at that left knee. Did you spot anything there, Cody?
I didn't see what happened. Looks like Daniel Cunha must have clash of knees, perhaps. I'd have to see the replay.
Lions physio coming on. There's some concern here for Madley.
He seems in pain, so...
Yeah. Not one to go down easily. Daniel Cunha, as you touched upon before, looks like he's having a few words.
He's a fiery customer. Doesn't shy away from battle.
While this is happening, let's see if there's any early goals in the FQPL games tonight. We've only got one game that has kicked off so far between Holland Park Hawks and Southside Eagles. 7 minutes in, no goals there at the Whites Hill Reserve. A couple of interesting games there tonight, particularly Ipswich Knights against Sunshine Coast Wanderers. Ipswich Knights have certainly reinvigorated themselves this year.
Yeah, haven't they? Oh, didn't they just play each other? Thought they just played each other.
I don't know what's happened, but they all played each other last week, and now they're playing each other again this week.
Okay, no comments.
I think that's a symptom of when Wide Bay pulled out and they had to rejig the draw. I think that's how it's happened. Now, let's just concentrate on the progress of Marek Madley here. He's just stretching out that knee. Physio gives the thumbs up that he's okay to continue.
That's good news. You never like to see players go down clutching knees. As we saw in round one, Matt Boyd going down with a season ender, perhaps career ender at his age.
He's just out of earshot, Cody. You can't quite get you, I don't think. You'll probably pick up on it later on. Bit of banter between the former teammates at Eastern Suburbs. So Madley wanders across to the far touchline. That'll allow us to get play back underway. It's Tommy Jarrod. Kim.
And Madley's back on. Good news.
So Reardon, ball into the box, collected by Reesby. And now it's Duckworth who's gone down. Did he cop a bit of a knock in the head as Reesby was coming out to collect that ball?
Almost looked like he landed on him.
Reesby showing some concern. Lions physio might be about to earn his money this evening. I think Joe Duckworth just needs a little bit of time to compose himself. Now he's getting back to his feet. Just hunched over. Ben Ryan, the power assistant coach, just having a chat to the assistant on this near side, just trying to pick up on what that might be about. Drop ball for Anton Chetnan to allow Reesby to go once more. So a bit of a stop-start affair in this first 7 minutes of the second half. And immediately they find themselves under pressure.
Yeah.
To Power.
Pressure being applied. Peninsula trying to work themselves back into the game, knock the ball around, but it's just not happening. Lions aren't allowing it to happen.
Held in close quarters was Briggs, and the Lions faithful sitting in the 100 Club grandstand cheering on their boys. I think I can spot Susie Hilton over there. Borean, rare touch of the ball for he this evening. Pace has just come out of the game in this second half.
Yeah, so far.
Kim looks back, decides the best option is forward. Brindle South. Kim. Jared. Composure from the young man. Acts beyond his years. Tommy Jared. What a spark he made back on the national stage back in 2015 when he played in that round of 32 game against Perth Glory. In fact, round of 16 game it was. Bit of a tussle between Hoare and Roper. Hoare immediately back to his feet, however. Now Briggs takes a touch. Briggs goes himself, and it's scooped up by Borean.
And that's why they've brought him on. Quick turn
on a
shot.
5-cent piece.
Yeah.
Long and high clearance from the Lions custodian.
Looks like he pulled up a bit sore from that. He hasn't had much to do this game. Getting a bit cold, perhaps.
Roper comes under heavy pressure, forces the turnover to Lions. And it was just attempted to be dinked over the head of Reesby. Just too much of a chip on it. Was it?
Not sure what he was thinking there, to be honest.
Might have been Hall. I think he might have just spotted Reesby just off his line and was trying to get that angle right between chipping Reesby and getting it under the crossbar, but just not the right trajectory in the end. Here's Roper. McAvoy. Briggs. Fox asking for a switch on this near side. Strickland, however, confronted by two white shirts. Attempted cross in, doesn't work out. And now Duckworth for his side, although he's given the ball straight to Briggs. Briggs again. Just took a heavy touch away by Carlos. Only as far as Roper, however. Roper again getting involved. And Thompson attempting to rescue the situation for his side. Makwase almost nicked in there. Cunha. Sliding challenge. Lions technical area didn't like it. Referee playing advantage. Makwase for Kim. And it goes past all of his teammates. Strickland and Hoare now. Strickland gets it away just in time. He is indeed. That's Woolley. Briggs was the cutback option. Just had to do a little bit more than what he was hoping to do. Woolley again going in for the ball. Carlos. He's been knocked over, Sean Carlos, and a relieving free kick for Lions. A rare mistake there from the visitors, and Peninsula almost made them pay.
Yeah, the cutback wasn't good enough. I mean, it was a difficult one. He had two plays to aim for, went for Briggs, but yeah, just cut out there. And as often you see, after they lose the ball, they've given away a foul. Few sparks of life there for Peninsula, though, with Briggs coming on.
I was about to ask you, what sort of impact do you think he's made early in this
Well, he's already
second
had
half?
a few little turns and then one shot or two shots and half chances. That's what they need.
as he gets used to playing with his teammates once more and they get used to him. As I said, scored twice last week in his return. And that's what Peninsula will be looking for to avoid their first loss in almost 2 years in the regular season of the league. So free kick to Lions. Plenty of talk going on out there. Looks to be Duckworth off the left foot, playing in the free kick, dealt with by the defender, and now Roper has a bit of space to operate in. Brindle South lost it into the car park behind us through the trees.
Roper giving that ball to Fox, making him earn his money. I think the long throw, I've played, is it Jenchevsky? I played him up in the Sunshine Coast League, and I'm used to this one as well.
And there it is. And towards the penalty spot. Cunha couldn't fashion anything towards goal. McAvoy. Madley was looking for the free kick. Whistle didn't come, and McAvoy exasperated with his effort that time round.
Madley's knee seems fine. He's moving around fine now. Nothing permanent.
And don't forget to follow Football Queensland on Instagram and Facebook for all the latest news and events across the state. You can follow the various social media accounts of Football Queensland. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. And there has been some action in the FQPL. Holland Park and Southside Eagles still 0-0 after 17, but there's been a goal down at Cornubia with Logan Lightning leading Wolves by 1-0. And 8 minutes into the game at Terrelba Park, South United lead Middleton by 1-0. Long throw-in's the fashion of the night now.
I'll have nightmares tonight.
Reardon this time. Carlos miscue, though perhaps it was directed towards Makwase. Carlos. Oh, Strickland's remained down, and a sigh of exasperation, and yeah, it's the third one we've had this half, and he looks to be the most serious of them all so far. Well, he's back to his feet. Strickland. Bit of byplay between the Lions technical area and Josh Woolley, who wasn't showing a lot of compassion for his teammate. He wanted to play on.
Frustration really seeping in, I think.
Now gone. Sean Carlos on the half hour, the difference between the sides. 1-0 Lions way.
Peninsula doing their best just to play this ball out. We'll see if Reesby will go short again, but look how high Lions are sitting. They're just not letting him play at all. And I think that's leading to a lot of that frustration on the power plays. There you go, he's had to pick it up. Go long.
Dealt with by Thompson. Cunha. Strickland. Oh, Briggs, that was flashy footwork to ensure the ball evaded, not crossing the sideline. And Jędrzejewski from the other side.
Yep, here we go.
It's going to go into the new construction on that far side. Fox couldn't get the turn in. Strickland. Recycle ball in. Cut out by Brindle South. Strickland takes it first time, and Borean keeps close watching it.
Again, very casual, watching that one go by his post.
Quick restart, however. They climbed all over. Fairgrieve did the opposite, number 17 and Madley. Roper's beaten Carlos. Plays of handball, not given. Fox, free area. You don't want to leave Briggs in that sort of territory. And Strickland didn't respond as well as he should have.
Mitch Hall really read that well. He saw what was going on, outsmarted them all.
Makwase falls backward by his opponent and Jansevsky. Thompson looked to deliver the cross. Might have been content to try and get the corner. It did deflect off McAvoy, but not in the direction he was hoping. Assistant's flag is up. And it'll be a goal kick to Peninsula as we approach the 20-minute mark of this second half. What tricks? Well, it hasn't left the area.
I think he did that on purpose.
There we go. It was eventually picked up on.
I think he felt the pressure coming from Makwase and thought, I'm going to take this one and make Reesby start again.
Next season, that will be okay. Change coming into the law. I believe Fox Sports commentator Brenton Speed has been a major advocate of that law change. Kim. The Lions faithful go up. Makwase! Great movement from Lions. Players spread out in different directions. But it's Jason Makwase who scores the second goal for Lions. Was it Denny Kim that provided the lead up, it sounds like? A couple of teammates went out to congratulate him. Yes, it was. Great delivery. And Jason Makwase makes no mistake. Lions are up 2-0, 20 minutes into the second half.
Well, Makwase should be thanking Kim and whoever crossed that into him. That was a great bit of skill there in the midfield to beat a couple players. And then from that point forward, just a really well-worked goal. Tidy little finish.
Late start to the season for Jason Makwase. His sixth goal now for 2019 in 10 matches. And Peninsula now really on their heels. And what have they got left in this last 25 minutes to keep this unbeaten streak alive? Really, they need to take the game to Lions, and that's how they're reacting after conceding that second goal. Oh, good cutout by Thompson. Can you see a way for Peninsula to try and find two goals in this last 25?
I mentioned to you earlier, I'm not going to write them off just yet. But from what they've shown so far, we haven't seen a lot. But we know they got goals in them. They're, especially with Briggs on the field now.
Everyone's peril to write them off. We've seen them so many times, including the FFA Cup game a couple of weeks ago against Brisbane City. Find a 120th minute equaliser to send the match into extra time and for them to progress through to round 6. That's what a champion team's all about. They can find a way to try and get a result. But it is an uphill struggle now for the men from the Peninsula. Oh, good work by Duckworth to leave it for Hoare. A third would make it almost the clincher for Lions. And he couldn't put it away, could Sean Carlos. The referee's blown the whistle. Yellow card. I'm not even sure who picked that up.
Oh, I missed that too. I think it was Madley. Perhaps a late challenge there on Reesby.
It's a Lions yellow card, I think I'm hearing from the assistant. So Peninsula, free kick just inside their territory.
I believe Madley getting another talking to. I think it was him who got the first one. Certainly no love lost between these two teams.
Arch rivals for a number of years in the Brisbane football scene in particular. Peninsula celebrating their 20th anniversary next week with a big dinner here at AJ Kelly. And funny enough, the man sitting on the Lions technical area is the coach tonight, in the figuring along with his good mate Scotty McNichol as potentially the coaches that could be named in the team of the 20 years of Peninsula Power. It's a tough choice. There's been some good coaches here. I don't envy the selectors on that one, or even to try and come up with the team of the 20 years either. Now Madley's on his bike. Can he beat the keeper? No, he can't.
Shouts of handball there, I think.
Duckworth and Hall were saying contact on Madley, but not even Madley would put in the appeal up. Route 1 now for Revesby. Peninsula about to make a change. Fairgrieve. Away by Plummer. Jansevsky. Jansevsky again tries to poke one through. No one waiting. What have we got around the grounds?
So
Cody, anything going on?
Yeah, we've seen Mitchelton equalise at home. 18th minute. They're 1-1 now with South United. Logan remain 1-0 up over Wolves. Wynnum Wolves in the 20th minute. 0-0 still Holland Park Hawks and Southside Eagles in the 27th minute.
And 20 minutes to go here. It's Lions who lead 2-0. Thompson diffuses that threat. Good touch in by Cunha. 1-2 with Fox, and then they combine again. And Kim, no, the ball had already crossed the line, and a change. The second of the evening being made by the home side. It's Richie Hurlin coming on in jersey 11. And the man departing is the skipper, Trent McAvoy. I think it's Luke Plummer who has taken over the captain's armband. So that'll force a bit of a... Jansevsky moves more centrally, and Richie Hurlin out to the customary left fullback position.
Lions won't be wanting to give any free kicks away near the edge of the area with Richie Hurlin with that left foot.
So I think Jason McQuarrie giving some feedback to Warren Moon to say perhaps just limited legs left for the Colombian, and Warren Moon asking, how long have you got left? Let's find out, because here he's on a bit of a run. And first touch for the Scotsman and Hurlin. Immediately puts his pressure on his keeper. Almost good work there from Briggs, but even his magic couldn't contain the ball from crossing the sideline. Hurlin knocks it away. Peninsula player up front caught in an offside position, so he couldn't get involved. Woolley.
Peninsula going to want to have to do something pretty soon, Rafe.
It's starting to get to desperation stakes. What are we, 18 plus stoppages now? Much tamer second half than the first. Oh, what's he done there, Cunha? Another ball that could have gone anywhere, thankfully. Deflected over the crossbar, out of danger for the home side.
Jared and Reardon make their way forward.
Jared directing traffic. Says Andy Thompson, how about you go out and cover Mr. Briggs for us? Makwase again presents short just to draw out a defender. A little bit of head tennis there. Jared nods on. Oh, Madley, I think it was, that got it all wrong. And Hall couldn't do much better. That's what happens when you wear flashy boots. You're easy to spot, Mr. Madley. Fox. He's coming back for the earlier infringement. Is the referee after there was no advantage for Fox?
They'll be grateful for that. Fox is running into nowhere with about 5 lines players surrounding him. And now they've got a chance to put one in the box, and they're all flooding forward with Hurlin. Looks like he'll be the one to put it in. Can we see a comeback here? They'll need something soon.
As we said before, you don't write a team off like Peninsula very lightly. Here's Hurlin's free kick. Might get a second chance at it. Shielding Makwase. Strickland, and Hurlin just gives a clip to Makwase on the way through and back play. Knocked over. Junior. Junior again. Woolley. Strickland. Briggs delivers. And a little bit of confusion, but good work from Borean, who immediately sends the ball away. Madley. Here's Hoare. And will it be another corner conceded? Scooped up by Reesby. It's a bit more fast tempo in this second half that we were more accustomed to in the first period. And Reardon for Lions. Just can't get that last touch in the final third, can they?
More than 3, 4, 5 passes together at this stage, Peninsula, which is rare for them.
Shouts of offside, and assistant referee, I should say, on that far side, duly obliges by sticking up the flag. Jared pokes it on for Carlos. Good win by Roper. Strickland. Briggs is calling for it at his feet. He had plenty of space, and I don't think Briggs would be too happy with his teammate about that. Here he is again. Briggs. Roper. Fox. Plenty of white shirts there to deal with the situation. Borean couldn't hold it. And was it... wasn't Fox who delivered the cross, but there was a Peninsula player lurking there.
Woolley, yeah. That's better from Peninsula.
First time that any doubt's been cast in Borean's mind this evening. And we're under a quarter of an hour to play. Woolley, switch. Hurlin's waiting. Went to go long, instead came short, and then skims his shot along the grass. You can visit footballqueensland.com.au for all the latest NPL, NPLW, FQPL and community news from across the state.
And the other game, another game is kicked off in the NPL. Eastern Suburbs and Sunshine Coast Fire. 5th minute, scores are level, 0-0.
Mark Bevan cheering on the Power.
They'll need a bit more of that, I think. Crowd's doing their best.
Cassie Coyne behind Lions. Lorraine Hatfield, as you expect, behind Lions as well as the big brother, Reese Carlos. Go, little brother, score again, referring to Sean, of course. Lions about to make their first change of the evening. Briggs, Hurlin. Once again, plenty of white shirts there to deal with the situation. No real chance with Hurlin trying to fashion something along the ground. It'll be Chris Hatfield that will be coming on, and Matthias Simic. A double change here for Lions in the last 11 minutes. Simic probably just to provide a bit of extra insurance. So Chris Hatfield on in 9 and Matthias Simic on in 4. One player coming off is Joe Duckworth and the other will be Mitch Hoare. So that'll probably force Reardon perhaps a little bit higher in the park, and you expect Simic to go into his customary central defender position.
They weren't in any hurry to get off the field, were they?
No. Yeah, in fact, so yeah, Reardon will push up into the 6th position, looks like. In fact, just in front of Danny Kim on first appearance, so more attacking midfield. As I said before, very much a utility player, Nathan Reardon.
Absolutely. He's had a very good game, actually.
He has indeed. Probably Danny Kim for Lions has probably been my best so far, but here's Makwase. Brindle South goes in hard against Fairgrieve. Two players that definitely don't go in half-hearted. Roper. Once again.
Yeah.
Peninsula just unable to
There's no
connect.
pressure there either. They just misplaced pass. It's not been their night so far.
And someone said something here. Matthias Simic, within about a minute of coming on, said something to the referee and conceded a yellow card and given away a free kick in good attacking territory as well. And Warren Moon just going to his experienced captain and going, keep your head. And if Sean Carlos keeps on going the way he is, he might end up in the notebook as well, but thankfully he's heeded the call of his coach. Peninsula looking to take a quick free kick, but the referee still completing his paperwork. Who's going to have it? Hurlin. It'll be an indirect free kick too, I think. Maybe not.
Yeah, you'd imagine so.
When I did the referee's course, that's what it was. It might have changed in the last
I'm wondering
few years.
if Hurlin would have a go.
It is indirect. It is indirect, and I wonder if Hurlin's realised it doesn't matter anyway, because that's a sharp save by Borean at his near post. It was a well-taken free kick by Richie Hurlin, and Woolley from close quarters almost got the turn on goal.
Great save. He's just stuck a leg out and, yeah. Calm as you like.
Experience of Borean may not have necessarily known what was going on, but had the intuition to. Polly been in that situation plenty of times before, did know how to react. Peninsula about to change there, make their third and final change. And Warren Moon is quite animated, which you don't see too often. Benny Ryan's having to just calm him, Warren Moon down. And Luke Borean's now up, and he's been booked. And where's this come from?
From nothing. He's taken his head.
And now the referee is going to come over and have a chat to the assistant. Warren Moon was giving the assistant an absolute gobful, and that's the direction they're looking at. And Mooney's probably going to have a talking to here very shortly as well. Yes, he is. So Daniel Cunha will be the man coming off. Coming on in 6 is Ramon Close. Here comes Anton to have a chat to Mooney. Benny Ryan getting involved as well, and Mooney just pointing out that if Mr. Shetland doesn't keep a lid on things, it might get a little bit more out of control here very shortly.
Wants to protect his players, I think. Doesn't have much else to be frustrated about. 2-0 up.
As I said before, Anton Shetland, one of those referees that does like the game to flow as madly. Pokes it straight to Reesby.
Good opportunity there.
Not quite done and dusted here for Lions. 5 minutes to play. So really, the last throw of the dice by Peninsula to throw another attacking player on in Ramon Close.
Yep, they'll need something now.
Plenty of blue shirts getting forward. All bar the keeper and 2 behind the ball. Hurlin looking to deliver. Held at close quarters by Kim and Hatfield. Pokes across in, but straight across the goal line.
Things seem to have calmed down a little bit on the sidelines here.
I think both coaches have made their point well known. Roper nods on. Might have heard that exchange between Aaron Philp and Warren Moon. You're right, Cody. Mooney definitely out to try and protect his players.
Which is fair enough. It's a long season. They're halfway through.
Now the Lions faithful. In fact, it's Peninsula faithful over there and amongst the Lions supporters. I thought most of the Lions supporters are sitting in the 100 Club stand. No, I did get it right. Was the Lions supporters appreciating that effort? Bit of fizzle and sizzle, and now a bit of fizzle. With 3 minutes plus stoppages remaining, and we might still have another 3 or 4 minutes after that to go.
Yeah, there's been a few stoppages. Another long throw there from Reardon.
Ball into the area. Madley tried to take it first time. Still have the corner, however.
Sure, they'll take their time to put this one in. Eat up another 30 seconds or so.
Slowest I've seen Sean Carlos move in a while.
He's had a good game too. He's always involved.
Hatfield comes short. This time Simic and Jared don't make the move up front. Bullet-like corner that Close latches onto. Big tangle between Fox and his opponent, Reardon I think it was. So Peninsula virtually have to go the length of the park here to try and give themselves a chance. Or did that deflect off the referee? It did. Unlucky there for Woolley. Hurlin. No, straight to a Lions player. Jensevsky. Now it's Strickland. Briggs calling for it on this right-hand side. It's Woolley. Briggs out of the equation at the moment. Curled in, nodded away by Thompson and McQuarrie. Oh, uses the silky skills and ends up with the free kick.
"27 games unbeaten, Peninsula. Looks to be about to come to an end.
3 minutes of stoppage time, we're being told. I think Peninsula are looking for a little bit longer than that. Yeah, it looks to be the end of the road. They now need 2 goals in 3 minutes, and to be honest, for the vast period of this game, haven't really looked like scoring.
I don't think they've had a shot on goal, but that didn't really challenge Boreen at all.
Now there's one man you'd come to expect. It's Briggs, and then Hurlin over the top of Close, however. Roper calling for it was Briggs. Every white shirt that's available immediately comes to the talented Briggs. It's Hurlin once more. Close puts himself into an onside position. Gets across away. Strickland tried the half spectacular. Briggs confronted immediately by 3 shirts. Plummer. Hurlin again, a customary cross in towards the penalty spot. Fox, he's tried to beat Brindle South, and Briggs has poked it away.
They got one back.
In stoppage time, Dean Briggs has given Peninsula some hope, but they still need another here to try and force a point.
I reckon they've got about 90 seconds, if that. That's why he was brought on. That's what he was brought on to do, and he's done it.
So Mooney's just basically said here from the kickoff, bang it long down the other end and boot it out of danger. So Dean Briggs in his second match back. Already 3 goals in 2 games. Well, that proved to be a crucial one. False start here from Lions. Bit of delaying tactics. Pick a side and box them in is the instruction from Warren Moon. Simic, as we said, booting it long. Down this end of the park is good for Lions, but Peninsula have possession. Close has to stay out of it. He was in an offside position. Woolley to put the pressure on Borean. Gets it away in the nick of time. Fox trying to dance around Reardon. Kim still battling hard for his side. Fox. Roper goes sliding in. Fairly, says the referee, although Brindle South has remained down. Fox is trying to encourage him back to his feet. It was a heavy challenge in from Roper, and Brindle South has remained down.
A few exaggerations thrown around down here.
Peninsula players and coaches alike inquiring as to how much stoppage time there will be.
Are they going to get one more chance, Peninsula? I have no idea how long he's going to be adding on here. Anton, the referee. Experienced Reardon taking as much time as he can.
Comes down the line. On by Strickland, straight to Thompson, bangs it away. Can Madley get in behind and seal it? Might be this time round. A quick restart from Reesby. Finds Briggs, it looks like, on that left-hand side. It is indeed. Continues on his run. Strickland laid off by Close for Briggs. Skims one, didn't get enough power on it. Looking for contact, bangs the ground. And Borean will use every second possible here. We know where this one's going. Tug of the shirt by Fairgrieve on Makwase, gets away with it, and the referee blows the full-time whistle. They haven't been beaten in a regular season league game since June the 3rd, 2017. But the winning streak comes to an end, or the unbeaten streak comes to an end for Peninsula Power here this evening in our round 16 match of the round from the NPL Queensland. Lions deserved the points in the end, but Peninsula made a battle of it. Sean Carlos scored on the half hour before Jason Makwase extended the lead out to 2-0 on 65 minutes. But it was Dean Briggs coming on as a second half substitute that provided some late hope for Peninsula in stoppage time. But in the end, they've come up short and they have lost their first game in almost 2 years. Here at AJ Kelly, it's Lions 2 have defeated Peninsula 1. Cody Shorter, the game ebbed and flowed, particularly in that second half. But as I said before, Lions deserving winners here this evening and extract some revenge 100%. From that round one loss.
100%, Rafe. A fair result. They could have got a few more as well. They deserved the game. They dominated in every aspect. Peninsula really only had that one chance where they scored a goal, maybe another few half chances, but that's it. Lions deserved the win. There's a few comments there after a few words exchanged, but everything's calmed down now. And as you said, a well-deserved 3 points for Lions. They're now, I believe, 5 points behind Peninsula, so they're still in it.
5 points with 13 games to play. There's plenty of questions being asked of referee Anton Shetton in particular. Ben Ryan is still out there, but as you said, that's probably a symptom of how hard fought it is between these two rivals. But they'll all go and have a beer later on up in the clubhouse, and they'll all be talking to each other.
It's a long way to fall from the top, and they're not used to losing, so it's obviously hard to take. But they're frustrated, but I'm sure they'll regather. And but Lions were just quality today. They didn't let Peninsula play their game at all. Peninsula didn't put more than 5 passes together at any time. Lions didn't let Peninsula get into their game. Look at them. They're happy. 3 points. Home time.
Well, as I said, an epic encounter here in the NPL Queensland match of the round. Lions, as I said, get some revenge from that round one loss to Peninsula. Thanks for being here tonight, Cody Shorter.
It's been a pleasure.
How was your debut commentary?
I enjoyed it. I'll have to ask you how I went actually off air, so you can give me some hard truths perhaps. But no, it's been a good game. I would have probably tried to watch this game anyway. So I got the best seat in the house, this view here, and I got to stand here with you and got to hear all the exchanges from the coaches and bench, which perhaps the people at home don't get to see or hear. But yeah, it's been really enjoyable. So thanks for having me.
Stick around, folks, on the Football Queensland Facebook page and the YouTube channels. Of course, you can see all the NPL games streamed live on the Football Queensland YouTube channel. But the match of the round coming up shortly from Underwood Park in the FQPL. We're going from one Shorter brother to another. Jake Shorter is going to join.
Smarter and more articulate Shorter brother.
Jake Shorter is going to be joined by James Coughlin for the FQPL match of the round between Rochdale and Capalaba. That should be a beauty as well. But on behalf of all the team, we're going to sign off here from AJ Kelly, Rafe Griffin and Cody Shorter. We've witnessed Lions inflicting Peninsula's first loss in the regular season of the league in almost 2 years. Lions 2 have defeated Peninsula Power 1. Good evening, everyone.